Samsung says its second quarter operating profit fell as much as 26.5% from a year earlier. Now, if this forecast bears out, that means the South Korean smartphone maker will log its third quarterly loss in a row. I'm Ramy Inocencio for Asia Today. Joining me here is the Wall Street Journal's Yun-Hee Kim, our Asia technology editor. So Yun-Hee, how do you feel about this latest forecast?
Obviously, the numbers are quite disappointing for Samsung. They're the world's biggest smartphone maker, but competition has really hit them on the high end of the smartphone market and on the low end. Now, mobile phone profits represent more than 70% of the company's operating profit. So it really shows that Samsung's getting squeezed by some of the companies like Apple and the low-cost Android handset makers in China.
So the numbers that people were expecting was on the order of about 90 million smartphones. Apparently, estimates are now that it only came in around 80 million smartphones. So what are the reasons here? They're getting attacked from a few sides, aren't they?
Right, correct. So they just launched their Galaxy S5 flagship high-end smartphone in the second quarter, but sales have been quite disappointing. So the high-end devices aren't selling as well. And also, Samsung's getting hit on the low to mid-end smartphone market as well. And so in emerging markets and in China, in these specific markets, their prices fell and their margins also declined.
Right. So we're looking at from the top end, maybe the iPhones of the world, from the bottom end, the Xiaomi's of China.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is important to note that this is the third consecutive quarterly decline in operating profit. And so Samsung's betting on third quarter rebound, but we'll have to see whether that will actually happen.
Yeah, I guess so. Another factor is the strengthening won. Over the past year, it strengthened by about 12% or so, and this, of course, dents those profits. What's happening there?
Right. So Samsung derives most of its earnings from overseas markets, and the Korean won strengthened, as you mentioned, 12% against the U.S. dollar. But Samsung also mentioned that its local currency strengthened against the euro and other emerging market currencies, and they're big in these markets, and so overall the operating profit declined.
All right, so the big question that Samsung does need to figure out is what does it need to do to dig itself out of this hole? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think Samsung faces a lot of the challenges that many of the handset makers are facing today. Competition is really tough, so they need to continue to innovate. One of the things that Samsung's placing a lot of emphasis on is beefing up in their software capabilities, and so they're trying to roll out new smartphones based on their Tizen. This is a homegrown operating system that competes with Android. They're going to be holding a launch event in Russia later this month, and they're also going to be launching a new watch phone, a smartphone that you can operate without having it attached to a mobile device. So there's a lot of expectations about these new products, but at the same time, we have to note that Apple is going to be launching probably new smartphones later this year.
Right, the iPhone 6.
Right, correct. And according to the sources that we've spoken to, Apple's going to be launching bigger screen iPhones, and so this is going to have an impact on Samsung as well.
Right, I know a lot of my friends are looking forward to that, including myself. All right, so great. Thanks for that analysis, the Wall Street Journal's Yun-Hee Kim, Asia technology editor. For more on this, head to thewallstreetjournal.com. I'm Ramy Inocencio in Hong Kong.